Greetings. Today we will follow the Pilgrims on their journey from England to the New World. Before getting started, I would encourage you to subscribe to the Mossy Feet Books YouTube channel for more great content. If you like my videos, please hit the like button. The more likes I get, the more YouTube will show it to other people, allowing me to grow the channel. I also entreat you to visit my website, www.mossyfeetboats.com. There you will find sample chapters, podcasts, a slew of content, and links to where you can buy my books. While visiting the website, you can subscribe to it and receive email notifications of when I publish a new book or other content like this video and podcast. This episode is based on my book, Colonial American History Stories, 1215 through 1665. The Pilgrims arrived in Southampton on the Speedwell from their refuge in Leiden, Holland. In Southampton, they were to rendezvous with the Mayflower and some other settlers. The Pilgrims planned to sail to the New World on the two ships. These two ships departed Southampton around August the 5th. The Speedwell created the first of what would be many problems by springing a leak. The ships put in at Dartmouth to repair the ship. By 1620, the Speedwell was 43 years old. It was a ship called a full-rigged pinnace, as was a smaller ship than the Mayflower. The Speedwell was about 60 tons and would have carried about 10 guns. The ship's construction in 1577 was in response to the threat of a war with Spain. Her name at the time of construction was Swiftsure. The ship saw her service against the Spanish Armada in 1588. Then it served as Sir Jelly Merrick's ship during the Earl of Essex Azores expedition in 1596. When the Spanish threat ended in 1605, the Swiftsure was decommissioned. The Pilgrims purchased the Swiftsure in 1620 and renamed it Speedwell. They refitted the ship at Leiden, Holland before departure with two new masts. Shipbuilding experts theorized that the crew using a mast that was too big for the ship caused the ship's problems. After the Pilgrims abandoned the ship, the owner refitted it and sent it on several profitable voyages afterwards. Because of the name's popularity, historians know little about the Mayflower's early history. There were over 20 ships registered with that name during that period. She likely saw her maiden voyage before 1609 and was near the end of her useful life by the time the Pilgrims departed for the New World on her. Historians know little about her construction and layout. They can surmise that she was about 102 feet long with a beam of about 25 feet and drew about 18 feet of water. She was a cargo ship with a capacity of about 180 tons. She was square-rigged and had 3 masts and 3 main levels. The levels were the main deck, the gun deck, and the cargo hold. There was also a poop deck formed by the roof of the cabin in the rear of the ship. The poop cabin rested on the poop deck and provided the crew with an observation area during the voyage. Her construction would have made her passage against the westerlies difficult. This played a key role in the length of the voyage across the ocean. Most of the ship had transported casks of wine and carried them about 10 cannon as protection against piracy. The cargo holds would have stored tools, clothing, bedding, food, and weapons. The settlers would need these essential items in their new home. The cargo hold did not have windows to prevent water seeping in and ruining the cargo. The holds had low ceilings and were dark, cold, and damp. The captain of the ship had the best quarters in the rear of the ship. This was the driest part. The crew, about 30, lived in the forecastle at the front of the ship. Since it was at the front, the forecastle was also the wettest and coldest area, as the waves constantly beat against it. The Pilgrims would have slept in the poop house and the gun deck, with some possibly sleeping in the hold. There was no latrine, so people mostly did their business in a bucket secured by ropes or over the side of the ship. The ships departed on Dartmouth on August the 15th, 1620. They did not get far. The Speedwell developed more problems with leaks. After traveling between 200 and 300 miles out to sea, the ships turned around and sailed back to Plymouth, England. Now they had to decide whether to go on or go back to their homes. They did decide to go on and left on September the 16th, minus the problem-plagued Speedwell. It was a stormy, long passage. The stormy passage caused the Mayflower to reach the New World well south of their intended target of the Hudson Valley. Continued storms prevented them from reaching their destination, which is present-day Provincetown Harbor in Massachusetts. With supplies running low and the season much later than originally intended, they decided to settle their colony there instead of trying to go on to their original destination. A new problem arose to vex the colony. Leader of the colony, William Bradford. The group contained some settlers that were not part of the Pilgrim sect. Since their location was outside the charter that governed them, many of these colonists felt that they owed no allegiance and could do as they pleased. This was a dangerous situation for the colonists to have as they faced a hostile new world. In an attempt to solve the problem, Bradford drew up a document that became the first framework of government established in the New World. The Mayflower Compact established a government based on majority vote in which the allegiance to the King of England was assumed. Women and children were exempted from voting. By signing the document, the settlers agreed to follow the rules it established to assure the survival of the colony. The document remained in effect until they received a new patent in 1621. The original Mayflower Compact has been lost to the mysteries of time, but there are 3 copies in existence. The earliest is Edward Winslow's Mount Relation, published in 1622. The book contains a detailed account of the settlers' first months at New Plymouth. This copy was reprinted in 1525 as Purchas his Pilgrims. William Bradford wrote a copy that he included in his Journal of Plymouth Plantation in 1646. These are the only 3 copies in existence today, and Bradford's handwritten copy rests in a vault in the State Library of Massachusetts. This episode is based on my book, Colonial American History Stories, 1215 through 1664, available on the website www.mossyfeet.com. The book is the first book in the 6-volume Timeline of United States History series. Discover some of the famous and almost forgotten stories of America. The story begins with the signing of the Magna Carta in 1215 and the beginnings of the concept of limited government, and ends, for now, with the beginning of the American Revolution in 1775. The articles in the book have more detail, as well as articles not included in this podcast series. I hope you enjoyed this podcast, and thank you for listening.